We're ready to go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Cork in the North. Thanks very much for clicking on, press and play, downloading. Big thanks to everyone. We've been 3 months at this now. 5,000 downloads, over 100,000 on TikTok, and about 10 or 11,000 views. No, maybe about 8,000, 9,000. You always add an
couple of hundred.
You always add another one or two. I think we're about 8,000 views, 9,000 views on YouTube. So a big thanks to everyone, especially in this fucking saturated market of podcasts. It's like having a car now. Everyone's just got one.
Yeah, it's like having lungs.
It's like having lungs. Yeah. You can't be a comedian unless you have a podcast, you fucking knobhead.
I have a podcast, and I don't even listen to them.
Do you know? I listen to mine.
I don't know. I don't listen to any podcast. Like,
no, I don't. I listen to probably three or four.
I often find myself thinking, where do people find the time? And I do nothing all day.
Yeah,
I'm a comedian.
Well, yeah, I
sit around all day.
Do you know what? Because obviously driving a lot. I listen to Tommy Tiernan's podcast.
I've heard that's actually
with Rita Blood and Hector. I also listen to. I dip in and dip out of Bill Burr because he talks a lot about American sports, and I just don't get it.
Yeah,
but it's still a good podcast. I also listen to a good murder ones.
Yeah,
I like a good serial killer one.
I should say I actually listened to one. It was a Radio 4 one, and it was like ghost stories.
Right. Mickey, you and Radio 4, I just don't fucking see how.
I've been on Radio 4 several times. I'll have you know. But just kick the mic. It's a really good one of. It's just like ghost stories. I think there was one in Belfast. It was the old Queen's student halls. There's one room where everyone was like, "This room's haunted. There must be something going on." And I've listened to it like in the car or on Alexa or whatever. But when I listen to it with headphones on, they've got this really creepy soundscape in the background that you don't hear unless you've got your headphones in.
Right.
So I'm walking through my local park, just having a nice day, and I can hear all these weird like, ooh. And when I got back to my apartment, I'd left the mop out and forgot and absolutely shit myself.
You think that someone had...
Yeah. As the ghost has left in my mop out.
Come into your fucking house. Jesus.
The poltergeist, like, this place is fucking disgusting.
Even the ghost is like, I mean, I'm a ghost and I will not do this place.
I mean, things fall through me and I'm sneezing.
Yeah. So this is Micky Bartlett. Mickey's our guest stand-up comedian from the north of Ireland / Northern Ireland. This is the thing I've learned. I've been getting taught about how to say the phrase.
Yeah, I'll head 6.
Yeah, but you're probably the only comic from this part of the world that I probably knew well enough before I moved here.
Yeah.
Because you gigged a lot in England.
Yeah.
When I was living there. And then obviously we've mutual friends and people like Chris Kent and Eleanor too. And we lived together in Edinburgh and never fucking saw each other.
Man, that was one of the weirdest. Like, I think even the whole month, I barely saw Chris or Eleanor or anyone. Yeah. Everyone was just...
Well, Chris and Eleanor weren't drinking.
Yeah.
And I wasn't. I was drinking, but we would have had, say, a different circle of friends up in Edinburgh as well, wouldn't we?
And I think I was, if I was going drinking in Edinburgh, I was going drinking all night.
Yeah. Whereas I'd be
making a good 10, 12 hour shift out of it.
I drink till midnight.
Yeah.
Because I'm older than you, Mickey.
That's the thing.
But if you look at both of us, who would you think is older?
Yeah. But then again, you pulled your back moving that mic right before we started.
I damaged my back this morning and I'm in absolute fucking agony. And
like, do I look 40? No, not at all.
I'm 40 and he's 35. And when I told him I was 40, he was like, "You fucking what?"
It's because you don't have a receding hairline. My fucking hair is just falling out.
Do you know what? I went to get a haircut last week on my birthday. Mm-hmm. I went to a Turkish barber down in Hollywood. And I went in and, it was my birthday. And I was in a good mood. I just had a coffee and I went in, and I love the Turkish barbers, right? They're great, right? Because they do your ears and everything. Right? You know what I mean? It's like when you get to a certain point in your life, you're like, can you do the ears as well? Any chance you could do the nose? And, do you want your eyebrows trimmed? Fucking yeah!
Man, I went then, the barbers I go to, I usually go to the same guy, but it's a girl who owns the place. And so I ended up one day, she was cutting my hair, and she went, do you want me to do your eyebrows? And I went, oh yeah, whatever. And she went, is that all right? And when she went, is that all right? I realised my eyebrows were annoying her.
Oh, right.
Like, she was like, what the fuck?
My God, and you don't even have to date her or anything about her. So, imagine people on the streets going, "You're just annoying me."
Yeah, she was actually a gay woman as well, because they're all the same.
But I went in anyway and I sat down, no one in. I was like, brilliant, no queue. It's my birthday, of course there's no queue. Went in, sat down. So this guy, Turkish lad, started cutting my hair, really nice fella. And he says to me, "You're not working today?" And I went, "No." I said, "I'm working tonight, but it's actually my birthday today." Now, can I just say this? I'm not a big birthday guy, right? Even for my 30th, I went to Barcelona for a day.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a party or anything like that because I have friends and they're all, they're scattered.
Yeah.
and they've all got kids, and
exactly.
You know, it's impossible, right? So I sat down anyway, and he says, "Your birthday, yeah?" And I just said to him, "So how old do you think I am?" And he was kind of spraying the water on my head and combing it, and he just looked at me, and he started to really look like, you know, when someone looks at you for your age, and you're like, they're looking a bit too fucking much, and he just went, 36. And I went, no, I said, I'm actually 40. And he went, you're 40? And I went, oh, he says, you need to go to Turkey and get new hair. I was like, and he started cutting me, and he went, oh, you're going a bit thin up here. And I goes, well, yeah, like there's no baldness in my family.
Yeah.
So I imagine that it's just going to be just a bit thin forever, but it's quite thick on the hair.
Yeah.
And he says, you need to go to Turkey to get hair. And I went, I don't need to go to fucking, like, is he working for like the tourist Turkey fucking hair board or something like that? And he's like, but he played, that's what I think is a conspiracy. Turkish barbers are placed around the UK and Ireland to help, to tell Irish
like
people
sales.
to go to fucking Turkey to get hair and teeth.
Yes. And I guarantee you, they sell the hair they cut from your head to Turkey.
They all bag it. They all bag it. You know when they sweep it up, they're bagging hair, sending it back to Turkey. And then when you go over, go, oh, we've got the hair that match. Yes, my fucking hair.
They just give you it back. Just stick it on.
Do you ever see people with turkey teeth?
The turkey teeth is.
Do you think that it's a bit too much now?
Yeah, I think that gets me about the Turkish teeth thing is after a certain amount of time, the gums start to like recede around them. Have you ever seen someone who's had veneers in for a long time?
Right.
And when they're talking, all I can do is go at like the spaces in the gums.
Really?
It does a weird thing.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand people, we now live in a very impressionist society, especially with photographs, and people, when they smile, they want to, you know, they notice their mouth more because of seeing videos of themselves with pictures. I understand it, but like, I have a veneer there, and I have a crown. And that's because of an accident.
Yeah.
So when I was like 14, I was a really bad sleepwalker, fell out the window of my house.
Shit!
Climbed up. I was sleeping on the ground floor.
Oh, thank God.
And the teeth got knocked and dead, and the gums got damaged. Anyway, when I had the money, I went and I got a crown in, and I got a veneer in January there. And so I've got 2 fake teeth. But the dentist was like, oh, you need braces, you need this. I was like, oh, fuck.
Aye.
My teeth are fine.
Yeah.
I just wanted to fix that corner there, because obviously I see myself, I'm on you know, YouTube clips of stand-up and stuff. But whenever I see somebody with the actual turkey teeth, and I look at the turkey teeth, and then I look at them and I go, the teeth doesn't suit the body.
Yeah. They're too big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you look like you've lived a tough life, but yet you've got amazing teeth.
Yeah.
The teeth is not matching the body.
New,
like if you were 6'2" and an elite athlete and a roar, and you had straight teeth, like, but that fits.
Yeah. I remember, do you know Michael Smiley?
Yes.
He told a story. He used to have really sort of crooked teeth, and he would get really good parts in movies and
very
drama
good
and stuff.
Actor, yeah.
Great actor. But he would get these parts as like a sort of a street urchin. It was always this kind of character because of his bad teeth. He got his teeth fixed and didn't work for like a year because they didn't know where to put him.
Oh, because
it just completely transformed him into like. Now you're still obviously a character, but you don't look.
Yeah, you can't play a homeless guy with fucking brand new teeth. Like,
yeah.
This guy's he's willing to get his teeth done, but not pay rent.
Yeah. Father, why have we no food? Huh?
Yeah, but like, look at my flossing though. I'm currently on a blue TP rather than a red TP. The gums are purple. They're very healthy. But yeah, we won't eat this week. I just find it crazy. Like, I'm trying to think. That was my last Edinburgh that we lived together, because my mum got sick after that Edinburgh. I never went back, and then the pandemic, obviously.
Yeah,
you've been back since, haven't you? 18, 19? Did you do it?
Yeah, I did the year after.
We lived together in 17. It's 5 years ago.
Jesus
you
Christ.
were 30.
Yeah.
That was the year Conor McGregor fought Mayweather, because we stayed up that night.
Yes, we watched that. That's right. Yeah. So I've been back. Is it twice after that, or just the once? Yeah, it was back because the next year I think that I lived with Eleanor and Damo Clark.
Good house. That's a good house.
Yeah, it was a great one. And then the year after that,
Damo every morning. Hey, how you doing? You all right?
And I'd be like, there was a point where
6 o'clock in the morning. Let's do yoga.
I think there was a point where one that I came home really, really, really drunk. I'd one of the, like
just a Monday for Mickey.
Yeah, but you know when you have one of those Edinburgh shows where like the day before was amazing, and then the next night you go, I did the exact same thing. And I've just died on a hole for an hour.
Oh, Mickey, don't.
And I went out and got obliterated, right? And I was in the kitchen, and Damo came home, Mickey! And I'm like, not now, man. I'm like, I think I'm going to quit comedy. I just fucking hate this. He's like, fucking chill out. It's just a shitty Tuesday. So the next night, Damo comes home and he's like, Eleanor! And Eleanor's like, I'm fucking quitting comedy, I swear to God. And then the next night, me and Eleanor came back home at the same time and Damo's on the table. Like, I'm fucking done. Like,
every night.
Just three of us in a row, just fucking one after the other.
That's it. I remember I did Edinburgh once, and after about 3 nights, I googled jobs in the Irish Guards, the police.
I've done that. I googled.
I was actually in Edinburgh going, I'm getting the fuck out. I'm going to join the police or something because I'm that angry.
Yeah, I once googled, am I too old to join the Navy?
You're like up in Edinburgh. You're like, oh Jesus Christ, this is like. That's the thing about it. People don't realise it's such an emotional.
Oh, it's crazy,
roller coaster, like.
Absolutely. Like I genuinely got. The last time I did it, the Tuesday night, got a standing ovation, and which I'd never had at the Fringe before.
Yeah, I was either that they were just leaving.
No, it was like a full blown like fucking. Like I was like, what? I didn't know. You know, I'm like,
how'd you deal with it?
Yeah, I'm kind of like, I really have to go because I've gone 5 minutes over and there's another show coming in.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Thank you. And then the Wednesday night,
silence.
Thanked. And do you know when you walk out on stage and you go, this is going to suck?
Just feel it
for an hour. This is the worst death I ever had at the Fringe. I did this thing one year where I would walk out cold and then introduce the intro music and then come out and do this big fucking stupid. I had a joke about this. It was a song called Bad Motherfucker. So I had a joke about how you have to walk out with this big. It's really hacky when I think about it. You need to walk out and have a big intro, get everyone warmed up. And I play this song, I come out, I'm like, fucking yeah, bad motherfucker. And then the joke is, I'm not a bad, like I've got psoriasis. You know, you can't be a bad motherfucker while constantly itchy. Like,
yeah.
And there's
I'm going to shoot you.
Yeah, just fucking. And then, so there's one night I go out, do the sort of wee intro bit beforehand, and I'm getting nothing. And as I'm walking backstage, I'm like, this is going to be a fucking nightmare of an hour. And then next thing, the music kicks off, and I come out like, and there's 80 people like that.
Oh, it's a 2-for-1 Wednesday as well.
Yeah, it was something. Do you know
Black Wednesday or something?
It was one of those nights where you go, I have enough cash in my wallet right now to give everybody their money back.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I've made fuck all because it was half price tickets or something, and you don't even have the decency to laugh. You bastard. Like,
but Mickey, like we've all done it though. You come out on a Wednesday night. Good evening, everyone. Are you all okay? Just standing there looking at you. I remember one night I was doing a show. And 2 people turned up late. And my policy was like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. You can't come in after that. Because, you know, I normally would spend the first minute or 2 just doing a joke about Scotland. You know, like it's great to be in Scotland. And then I have one joke about Scotland. And then I kind of go, so thanks for coming to the show. You get a laugh or 2. So they relax.
Yeah.
And then you kind of start your show. It only takes a minute.
Yeah.
But 2 people walked in with fucking Subway sandwiches. And my rule was no food.
Yeah.
And they come in, they sit in the front row, and they open the Subway.
Jesus Christ.
And the paper, right? And it was like footlongs as well.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm starting
sauce
to
everywhere.
So, you know, when they're coming in, like, how you guys? Oh, I'm thinking like they're going to eat it after. They fucking open it. And they open the paper on their lap. They're sitting on the front row, and I went, are you all right? What's that? And they're like, Subway. And I went, nice, what'd you get? You know, and they were like, footlong, whatever, like Italian ham and cheese and all that. And I went, good. But anyway, we're going to start a show. Well, thanks very much for coming. And then all I could hear was one guy whisper to the other guy goes, there's no red onion.
Fucking hell.
And, and everybody was just sitting there going, can you just not eat?
Yeah.
Like, and you go, yeah.
Especially the size of the rooms you play in Edinburgh. They're always roasting.
You can hear
the air
everything.
conditioning. Yeah, but the smell of it. Like I'm thinking, you know, some of those rooms where the air conditioning isn't great, it's been full all day.
Yeah.
And then 2 people walk in with fucking Subways in a hot room.
Oh, it's horrendous, man.
Fucking hell.
Were you there?
Have you ever kicked anyone out of a Fringe show?
Oh, mate. I nearly kicked myself out. I had fucking murder one night with a couple of guys in my show. They came in and, you know, when you're backstage behind the curtain.
Yeah.
And you're playing your little music. So I was playing like Joy Division and all this kind of stuff, right? And in between the kind of second or 2 before the music going down to the lights changing, then to the walk-on music, there's like maybe a 3 or 4 seconds. So the audience realise, oh, it's starting now, you know. Like, I could just hear one guy just going, let's just keep shouting at him. So basically they've come in to cause trouble. So I walk out and I'm thinking, that's in my head now. So I'm anxious. Yeah. So when I'm anxious, when you're anxious on stage and you can't relax, you know there's something coming. Yeah. Now they were fine actually for like 10, 15 minutes. But then the phones came out and the face lights up. started talking. Then one guy goes, you go to the bar. And I said, guys, are you all okay there? You know, and, you know, trying to be polite with you. And one goes, yeah, we just want to go get a drink. I said, yeah, we'll go get a drink. Yeah, no worries, no, go get a drink. I said, how many is there? Is he 3? Well, 3 of you go get a drink. Yeah, that'd be great, yeah. So 3 of them walked out, and then as soon as they walked out, I got scared to go, lock the fucking door.
That's fantastic.
So they wouldn't let him back in.
Yeah.
So then they attacked the doorman outside. Then
Jesus
they attacked
Christ.
him, like, but we want to go back in. Andrew said, you can't go back in. Speak to Andrew after the show.
Yeah.
I just wasn't having them. I just knew that they were... And there were like 3 people that had come to a show 15 minutes in. They were sitting in the middle. So then they had to move everybody to get out.
Aye.
And I went, no, this isn't the right...
Yeah.
So I said, I'll meet them afterwards. And I'll tell them why they're not coming in. And I'll give them their money back. And they never showed.
Aye. It's so, like... Because you're doing an hour, but you really have to be so tight.
Oh.
Do you know, like... So it really is any interruption. You're like, this is going to interfere with the length of this show now.
Yeah. Because like I have an hour show. If I deviate for 5 minutes, because to deal with your shit, there's something in that show that has to be cut, and I have to edit that as I'm performing it.
It's crazy. And then you're going, the last joke might not make sense. There might be a callback. There might be something else going on. And you ignorant bastards. I had a gig last week in Armagh where there was a table. So I didn't realise that the hotel had put out like cabaret style seating and kept serving drink, which I didn't know. There were 4 guys at a table of 8, so just 2 different groups of people at one table just decided we're going to fucking interrupt this.
Rats.
They're looking at videos on their phones, like literally just showing like TikToks or whatever, just during it. And at one point I was like, you know, he's alright lads, and one of them went, no, it's better crack down here. And Joe, your brain goes, I'm annoyed that you think that's the first time I've ever heard that. Like, that's such a fucking muggle heckle.
Yeah.
And I always think if I get angry at a heckler, I go, even if I've put them down, I lose.
Oh, yeah.
Because and I went fucking ape shit, like just fucking, like...
Straight in.
Just fucking... And at that point they started laughing. But then it caused a thing where another table were like, oh, we roast people. So then some other guy started heckling, and I'm like, did you not just see me ruin that guy's fucking life?
Yeah.
You'll go home and kill yourself if I really go for this. Like, I'll go psycho on you, because all I do is sit around all day thinking about how much I hate people. Like,
it's crazy, isn't it? The mentality's wrong though.
Yeah.
People come into comedy.
But that's the worst thing, it's when I get like that, I go, it's like you said with the anxious thing, I just go, I've got nervous now I've got angry, and I'm not even being funny, I'm just being as rude as you are.
Yeah.
Which makes it worse.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've said some awful things to audience members. And I mean, some stuff I actually look back and I go, I was actually maybe a bit harsh there.
I think about things and I go, if someone recorded that and put it on Twitter, cancelled. Absolutely gone.
I told a guy who was annoying me at a gig that I hope his wife left him. Then she comes back and they fix the marriage, and then she leaves him again.
I told the guy
again and takes the kids. You only get to see the kids supervised by a social worker.
I told the guy.
I was just fucking. And I went to his job and I went to his parents and I went, you're shit human being. And the audience were like, the more I did it, the more the audience were like, this is fucking mental. Like, and I was like, I hope you lose your job. I hope you lose your fingers. in a cutting a toast fucking incident. And I hope your house gets fucking carbon monoxide poisoning.
That's amazing.
And I was like, I just like tore into the guy. And the guy was just sitting there like, I think all he did was fucking I think he shouted at me.
Or something.
He blinked in the wrong eye. That's annoying me.
Yeah, he turned up with his ears not.
Do you ever like say something to an audience and you go, oh, I fucked up, and they know I fucked up?
Yeah, one night, and it was quite shortly after lockdown finished, I think, so it was recently. I'd started doing this thing on my podcast where I started ranting, and it seemed to make people laugh.
Yeah.
So one guy, I can't remember, he heckled something. I was just, hey, do you know what I mean? Like nothing. And I thought, my brain went, do one of your rants, Mick. You know.
Yeah. Off you go. Green light.
You know what you're like? You love ranting now, don't you? And I just went, I'll fuck your wife. And then immediately went, I won't, that's not me. I felt like, you know, in Karate Kid when he breaks that guy's nose, he's like, what the fuck am I doing?
Did you get a laugh?
No.
We don't get
Everybody was like, no, you won't.
What do you want? It's disgusting.
It was Brickwork in Derry as well, so it's a club that I like used to MC and kind of. There's almost like an audience to turn up to see me there now. And when I said that, they looked at me as if, we know you're not capable of that.
Because you have psoriasis. And a receding hairline.
You fat fuck. We're going to fuck your wife. I don't have a wife. Exactly.
That's why you don't have a wife. Because you're a weak man.
Send shit like that. Piece of shit.
Oh, man. Some of the stuff like is absolutely insane. I remember once I was doing a show. This is the best one we did years and years ago. We were doing a show. And Bupa Healthcare were in. There was a group of staff.
Yeah.
It was in Manchester. Just a normal. It was a fucking Thursday or Friday night. Like. But I was going on at the end. And they were a nightmare.
Yeah.
The security were weak. Security had gone over a couple of times. Smashed glasses. Shouted a couple of the acts, then had to go at the staff. And I got to the point where other audience members were going up to the MC going, can we do something about this?
Yeah.
I'm going on and I'm thinking, who the fuck's managing this show? Like, look, just get him out. Like there's like 9 of them. Get him out. Anyway, these were people who had kids, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I went on anyway. Started the show straight on. Hello, how's it going? Nice to be here. Started shouting Irish stuff for me, you know, the cliched Irish stuff.
Yeah.
Put him down a bit. So you work for Bupa Healthcare? I said, oh, Jesus. I said, oh, that's great. That's mad. I said, isn't it? Wouldn't it be amazing now if we contacted Bupa Healthcare to tell them the staff had a night out tonight and caught. Now, there's video evidence about this. I had a Twitter account at the time. So I took a picture of them and I tweeted Bupa Healthcare.
Fuck.
And the following morning, I got an email. I got a tweet back from Bupa Healthcare. This is being investigated.
Yeah.
And then the comedy club got an email. I actually felt like it's gone a bit too far. This, like,
I didn't mean it.
Like this has gone a bit too far, but apparently wasn't just. It got like it was probably one of the worst I'd seen.
Yeah.
Like, and I thought, you know what, because there's another promoter in England. He told me that's a very key tactic they can do if they get big groups in from companies. Yeah. Said like you're representing your company tonight.
Yeah.
Like if you're coming in, like say if there's 6 lads or 10 lads coming in from Sainsbury's or the local council and they're having enjoy yourself, have a great time. But if you're from that company, you're representing the company, like.
Yeah.
So behave and enjoy yourself and have a laugh and have your drinks but when the show's over, have a fight if you want, but just don't do it when the show's on.
Yeah. Yeah, don't do it in the premises.
Don't do it in the premises. Yeah. Like. So apparently Bupa then spoke to somebody. I don't think they lost their job or anything like. But like apparently there was like the people from Bupa then sent an email into the club saying like, really sorry, we'd been out after work from 5 o'clock, got a bit carried away, didn't realise it. We're very apologetic, and everyone was like, yeah, it's fine. But like, I think it's a really powerful way now.
It's a great way to do things.
Like if they're being super disruptive, not like if they're just chatting and heckling, like, but if they're like smashing glasses, shouting at the staff, do you know what I mean? Like, that's not cool.
At that point, like, it's I've been lucky enough. I've never seen anything. I've seen a fight once break out in the Empire, like in the audience.
Really?
Yeah. Shane Todd was on. Shane Todd, like, it's just.
How can you get angry at something that Shane Todd's doing?
We were all still open spots at this point.
Oh, right.
So like Shane came out. I remember, God love him, he was like, at one point, I can't remember if I was emceeing or what was going on, but he was so nervous about where he's putting his bottle of water and where he's putting his notes that he forgot to move the mic stand. And I remember going, Shane, you're only doing 7 minutes. You're not going to need a drink. Just get up because the Empire stage is so high. If you leave the mic stand in the middle,
you're creating such a barrier, like.
And I know it sounds so silly because it's that thin, but it's still enough if you're below the stage.
Yeah.
That you go, fuck it, I kind of have to look behind this.
Yeah.
So I was watching Shane being like, fuck, he forgot to move the stand, and I'm just like really trying to like support my mate, and then all of a sudden these 2 lads just start beating the fuck out of each other, and Shane's like, the fuck, dude? Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Like,
I was in Tesco.
Yeah. My dad's a bit of a character. What's the deal with airplane food? Am I right, guys? Like, and like, do you comment on the fight? Do you call for a bouncer?
Yeah.
You know, because technically speaking, you're like, I did a gig one night. This is a bad one as well, actually. I was doing Warrington for the comedy store.
Oh, yeah.
Store in the road.
Pyramid Theatre.
Yeah. And what do you call him? Christian Riley?
Yeah, Christian, lovely fella.
Plays guitar and stuff there?
Yeah. Cowboy hat.
Yeah. So he was closing, right? And there'd been 2 people who I was hosting, a guy and a girl, both went in, very clearly taking drugs.
Oh, wow.
Going to the toilet way too many times.
Well, it is Warrington.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, going to the toilet way too many times, right? It's another one of those times where I go, I can't fucking believe I did that.
I'm surprised you did. Surprised you turned up there with that accent in Warrington?
Man, this is exactly what happened, right? So, I didn't know. Right?
How did you not know, Mickey?
I was fucking 6 when it happened, right? So, Christian, I'm emceeing, going grand. Christian gets on, he's doing a bit, and someone threw a plastic bottle at him. Now, he didn't do anything offensive. Just one of these cokeheads was like, I'm bored. Excuse me, I want to go home now, whatever. So I threw a plastic bottle at him. He comes off, like, listen, no offense, but show's over. like, once you start doing that, you know, we're not performing anymore. So I had to go back out just to go, listen, fuck you too, and whatever. But I went back out and went fucking throwing bottles. I was like, I will go full fucking IRA on this place. Completely had no idea that the last
that's a
act
great,
of official
that is brilliant though. I feel like that is
when
brilliant.
I got home and my dad, I was like, where were you going? I was still living at home. My dad, where were you this weekend? And I went Warrington, and he went, fuck, that's the last place the Ra blew up. And I was like, do you like the end of fucking Saw?
I cannot believe.
Like, fuck.
I did Warrington one night. I did that gig in the theatre. I died so bad that the Comedy Store emailed me at 8 a.m. on a 8 a.m. on a Sunday with just one sentence thing that just went, "What happened?" And I just replied, "They just hate me."
Yeah.
I walked out. I was like, "Hello, how's it going? You all right? You all right?" And I just went like, "Oh, just popped up to actually go visit IKEA. Actually, you know, I said here I'll just do a gig, you know." And I was just trying to like do this thing. Fucking silence, man. Like it's just like there's some places in England that you just go, I think I'm done. I don't think I can go there again. Like,
I've had a couple of ones like, it's like, do you know the Hilarity Bites gig? Have you heard of those?
Yeah.
There's one of I want to say Darlington.
Yeah. Some of them are very good.
I've just fucking never done it. It's a great room.
Yeah.
And I've done it maybe 3 or 4 times. And I always find that like, when I do that room in particular, they laugh at certain points of the jokes, but never the punchlines. So I'll get laughs where I wouldn't normally get laughs. And then where I would normally get a laugh, they'll be like, too far, mate. Too far. I don't like it.
Oh, then I shot him in the head. Oh, I like the fact that he had a gun. I don't like the fact that he used it. That's fucking...
It's crazy.
It is insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
I remember one of my... I think I was in London at the weekend. I was doing the boat show in London. Mm-hmm. We've done a boat.
Not yet, actually. No.
Oh, mate. Tattershall Castle and South Bank. What a fucking gig, man. But I was a bit concerned. I know this is going to sound like I'm getting old and everything, but I was a bit worried about my memory over the weekend. Right now, and what happens is because I've lived in London for so long, I know, like, it's kind of like one thing I love about knowing London is that I know how to, if you said to me Edgware Road, I'd be like, right, from where? And you're saying Edgware Road from Angel. I'm right, okay, Northern Line, southbound to Oxford Circus, Check to Bakerloo line, northbound. Yeah, you know, like I like because I've lived there because I think I was going to the boat show and I thought, oh, brilliant, I get the train to London Bridge and I'll just walk over the bridge. Yeah. It's the wrong fucking station. I was supposed to go to Waterloo. 45-minute walk.
Fucking hell.
And I was like to myself, how did I get this wrong? Like, how did I get that wrong? And then I got the wrong train, another wrong train as well. And I mean, I don't make these mistakes.
It's because you've been living in a country for a year now that only has a train.
That has one train.
One train.
That takes 2 hours to go to Dublin when it's an hour 40 to drive. What the fuck is wrong with this country?
It's 45 minutes to get to Belfast from Lurgan, and it's a 20-minute drive.
What the fuck? And then you see the politicians, let's build a better Belfast. You can't even do it. You can't even build a fucking train system that encourages people to get on. Like, you know, the train from Dublin to Cork is 2 hours 45. Yeah. You can drive it in 2:20. And it's just like,
it's bananas.
It's just, what is the point?
Did I tell you about what happened to me on Paddy's night?
No.
So we went out all day Paddy's Day, and then I was doing Lavery's that night. Shit-faced.
So Paddy's was a Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So absolutely fucking doomed.
Kevin Hart night?
No, Kevin Hart was the Friday night. Was the night after. But we got to Botanic Stations to go home, and I was trying to find a lighter for a cigarette because I'm still smoking. I'm drunk. Like, I know. So
35 now, Micky.
I know.
Come on now.
Stop it.
You're getting old.
That's exactly. I drank. I did support for Kevin Hart on Saturday, and I had a couple of drinks when I got home, and I'm fucking.
Did you meet him?
No. It's like
it's weird, isn't it?
It's kind of like.
You think he'd pop into the green room and say, hey guys, I'm a comic as well, how you getting on? I know the vibe, like.
But I think it's the kind of thing where like you forget that he's Kevin Hart, so he's so famous that, like I was saying to the lads, doing stand-up in a club might be the most normal thing he does in his day-to-day life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that level of fame where you go, that doesn't even seem like it would be fun.
Yeah. Apparently he's staying up in the Culloden.
I've heard that, yeah.
Because I got a taxi and the taxi guy was like, my mate's picking up Kevin Hart. And I was like, oh yeah. And he goes, he's up in the Culloden. And I went, okay, cool, great.
Aye.
Yeah.
You know where Van Morrison lives?
Where?
The Culloden. So he lived in the Culloden.
In the hotel?
There's a house in the grounds of the hotel or something like that, I think.
Van Morrison.
Yeah.
He's fucking gone weird, isn't he?
Yeah, he's...
One of these anti-vax, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he's anti-vax or was it just anti-lockdown or something?
Well, whatever, I don't know.
Yeah, I know that fucking video didn't do him any favours.
But he's a bit grumpy, though, isn't he?
Notoriously, like a grumpy bastard.
And he still he still lives here.
Yeah.
He still lives here, does he?
But what's the thing? Is he's got some weird rules about, like, there's something about he has to be off stage, no matter where he is, by like 9:45 or 10 o'clock Belfast time. Someone told me that. I don't know how true that is, but like if he's gigging in New York, you're like, it's fucking 10 o'clock at home. And they're like, yeah, but it's 2:15 in the afternoon. He's like, well, I'm going to bed. Like, really. And so, who was telling me the other night, they went to see him, and the band started playing the backing track for Gloria. And the audience were like, starting to sort of sing it, waiting on Van Morrison. But Van Morrison just went home. So like his most popular songs, he no longer sings and just leaves without saying anything.
What is it, Mickey, about people like that when, don't get me wrong, he's a talented guy.
Yeah.
Right? Produce some songs that will stay for forever. Why be such a... What's the attitude?
I don't know.
What's the issue?
I honestly don't know. I sometimes wonder, like, has it been a thing where, people have been treating them like shit? Because there's a certain thing here, when you get kind of well known in Ireland, especially in the north, people talk to you quite aggressively.
Yeah, and they touch you as well.
Yeah. A lot of touching.
Don't fucking touch us.
Yeah, a lot of like...
Not me, I'm not famous, but like, don't touch people.
I have, famous friends and I'm kind of well known, and the amount of times that I'm like, you're too close to me.
Yeah.
Person who I've never met.
Yeah.
Like... Or I've had situations where, like, my girlfriend's been elbowed out of the way so someone can try and take a selfie. And I'm like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? I'm the only one that elbows her.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Somebody's hitting her, it's fucking me.
Yeah. I am the man.
I just fucking want me or you.
I am the man in this relationship. But you know what? There's a beauty, though, about being known as a comedian. There's the flip side. I'll give you an example. Last week, I was down in the Comedy Store 2 weeks ago. Paddy's night. I was doing the Comedy Store in London. Dean Kiely was in, the Irish goalkeeper, former Irish goalkeeper. He's the goalkeeping coach now at the moment. Now, him and his wife had been to see me before, and we'd exchanged a message on Instagram. Obviously, being a big soccer fan, Dean Kiely, he's the goalkeeping coach at Crystal Palace, and his wife Tracy, and they came to a show. I spotted him in the audience, like, oh my God, I get a bit of fanboy when I see footballers, right? And because the thing is, this is genuinely how I feel about when you become a comedian, right? So, like, rugby players are the best.
Yeah.
Because you can talk to a rugby player. Footballers, not all footballers, even like the retired footballers, perfect.
Yeah.
Currently playing, arseholes. If you said to me, will you do a gig for fucking, I don't know, fucking the Northern Irish soccer team and their girlfriends and wives and partners and the team and the management is at an end of season party, 20 minutes? No.
Yeah.
How much? We'll talk again. But like, no. Right? But you said to me, will you go to Ulster Rugby and do a gig? 100%.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Because there's something about football. Like I've done gigs for footballers before. I'm like, you're one injury away from being a fucking electrician.
Yeah.
So don't give me this fucking turning up with shoes with no socks on and fucking little man boy and like fucking like 5 women you're texting and your fucking mum's V golf and all this. Like you're on fucking 350 quid a week. You're in the reserves.
Yeah.
You're one injury away from next please in McDonald's drive-thru, right? So don't fucking tell me that you're fucking precious until you're playing first team. You've got 10 caps for your country. Then I take you seriously, right? But Dean Kiley's in the audience, and I spot him and I go, retired footballers, I always approach them.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think sometimes there's a bit of them that they still want to be recognised, right? Because, right, go up, chat away to him, get a picture taken. Lovely to meet you. His wife messages me, do you want to come to an Irish football game?
Unreal.
Right? I'm at the Comedy Store on Thursday, St. Patrick's Day. On the Saturday, Ireland are playing... The following Saturday, Ireland are playing Belgium, which was last week. It lands out in the Aviva Stadium in Dublin. Messaged his wife. I said, I would love to come to the Aviva to watch Ireland v Belgium. Thank you so much. What a treat.
Yeah.
So we go to... She goes, we're meeting at the Clayton in Dublin for a drink beforehand. Stephen Kenny, the football manager of Ireland, his wife will be there and their children. The Irish manager's wife and kids.
Fucking hell.
So we rock up at the Clayton. I'm with Dean Kiely's wife, Irish goalkeeper coach. I'm with Stephen Kenny's wife, Stephen Kenny's daughter. I'm sitting there going, not bad for fucking shit jokes, like.
Yeah, man.
And that is what you have. That is the best bit that you. So whenever people come up and they put their hands on you, you go, that's the flip side.
Yeah, I've definitely been in situations where you're like, the clothes I'm wearing aren't even remotely expensive enough to be standing beside this person.
Yeah. It's fine. So it's insane. So we went to the game and got front row seats.
Yeah.
And then after the game, Dean he messaged me. Like, keep in touch. And my nephew, he's a really good goalkeeper, you know. So I've spoken to my brother about maybe trying to get some advice from my little nephew and stuff like that. And I was just like, it was just the best day.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That's the perk of being a comic.
Yeah. There's definitely, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, when you complain about stand-up, your worst day as a comedian is still 20 times better than your best day and whatever the fuck else we'd be doing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I worked in a call centre. The last full-time job I had was fucking, like, PPE.
Yeah. What's
PPI?
PPE? What's PPE?
PPE is the mask.
That was 2009 and 10 or something, was it?
Yeah, so I think I was still doing that. Was 2012 or something.
I used to sell PPI.
Did you?
Payment protection insurance. Yeah.
Fucking hell. But, like, how do you sleep at night?
Sleep very fucking well, because they've all got compensation.
Yeah, on a bed full of money.
I was working in a bank in a call centre to start, and I was off the phones after a while, but like sell PPE. So if somebody rings up for a car loan, say they want 10 grand for a car, and like interest rates back then were like 6.7%, 8%. Now they're like 2%. And then you'd sell them paying protection insurance. So if your monthly payment was, say, 150 quid and you're getting it at 8%, and you add on the PPE, which is like 25 quid a month, it's up to 175. But when you actually, I mean, I didn't have a fucking clue.
Yeah.
When you're actually like look through the policy, you actually can't, like, it's like you can't really claim because it's like mobile phone insurance is the biggest fucking con.
Yeah.
And I'll give you an example about mobile phone insurance as this con, right? Have you got a mobile phone?
Yeah.
Have you got insurance?
Have I fucked?
Don't ever fucking buy it. Because I'll tell you why, right? If you read the terms and conditions in a mobile phone contract, this is how you can claim if the phone was taken off it. So this is the only way. If you're in a pub and you have your phone, right? And you're standing in a pub, and me and you are at a table, and I put my phone down, that phone is now not in my possession. And someone swipes it, can't claim it. The phone has to be physically in my hand. So that means there's a fucking fight going to happen.
Jesus Christ.
So you're telling me the only way that I can claim for my mobile phone if I'm involved in a fist fight.
That's fucking insane.
But if you read it, they say if you leave it unattended, that's unattended.
Yeah. That's nuts.
And I look that way, and someone swipes it.
Whoever came up with any of those types of, like even car insurance, do you know the fact that like you buy a brand new car, insure it for what you paid for it, drive it out of the shop, $2,000 down. $2,000 down. Straight away.
But do you remember? But what I love about insurance people is they're the most opportunist.
Oh man!
Would you like to talk about how you're going to pay for your funeral when you're dead? No, because I'm fucking dead.
Yeah. Someone else is paying for it.
The government's going to have to do it.
Yeah.
What are they going to just let me lie in a chair for 100 years? They're going to put me in some bag. Like they're going to have to get rid of me. They'll put me in the bottom of the sea. They're doing Osama bin Laden.
Put me in the green bin. Fuck it.
It's a joke. Collected on a Wednesday.
Just feet and head.
Like, do you remember when there was 10, 12 years ago, there was an Iceland fucking volcano erupted. They were then trying to sell insurance against volcano eruptions.
Well, wasn't that one of the things as well, when that happened, people's travel insurance wasn't covered because it was an act of God? Because doesn't Ricky Gervais have a bit about this?
An act of God?
They're called an act of God. And then I think Ricky Gervais has a bit where he's like, but surely if an act of God can be taken, as a literal thing, everything's an act of God.
Then. Yeah.
So technically speaking, you're never insured.
Exactly. Oh, there you go. Yeah. That's a strange one. Yeah. Do you have I find that that's really true. Like I think my favourite one is terrorism insurance.
There's a terrorist insurance?
There's terrorist insurance.
Don't have that here.
No. The premium here would be through the fucking roof. You know what I mean? Like your home insurance, 150 euro. Terrorist insurance, where do you live? West Belfast. 9 million.
Yeah. Terrorist insurance here is basically when somebody has a second job, but it's the RA. Do you know what I mean? It's more of a savings account.
Did you see the other day the UVF have cancelled their ceasefire?
Seriously?
Yeah, I saw it on the news.
Shit.
Yeah. They're now, because of the protocol. And I was like, oh, what does that mean? Well, apparently glasses will be broken in Wetherspoons or something like that. Like, I don't fucking know what this is. I don't know.
Actually, near where I live, I've seen some UVF graffiti hitting the walls again.
Are they? We need to stop fucking doing it then, Mickey.
Well, I can't help it. It's the only one I can spell.
UVF, IRA. Oh, it's too complicated. Why is terrorism so difficult?
With the continuity IRA, I was like, oh, I don't have enough spray paint. That's 4 letters.
Do you know in B&Q in the summertime, they take the amount of orange paint they sell in June?
Seriously, yeah.
Because they come down in June. Orange, blue, white and red paint. They go in to buy the paint to paint the pallets or to paint the walls or the curbs or whatever it is. And I think, you know, it'd be really funny if I was still working in B&Q, that I would just buy all the paint, and then just start selling it online to them, like for double. It'd be great, double or triple the price. Like,
I would love if somebody came in for like,
and then they come up to buy it off me, and I turn up in an Irish jersey, and I just stand there going, "All right, lads."
Yeah, I think it'd be great if somebody turned up as well. Do you know when they go through that colour chart? Like you find the colour, we'll match it. Oh, yeah. I'm looking something fucking sort of King Billy, like. What? Just some guy there, like, oh, see. I'll do it. Nah,
orange with a sprinkle of blue and red.
Something real anti-Fenian.
Do you know, when I was working in B&Q, right, there was a guy that worked there. He was a lovely, lovely man. Kieran was his name, and obviously spelt with the fadas, the Irish way, right? And he worked in the returns desk in B&Q. And so one day I was down there anyway, and a guy had come in to return something. So what they tend to do is in B&Q sometimes is they buy something, they go home, they use it, they repackage it, they bring it in. Oh, there's something broken. Yeah. Can I get my money back? Right? So obviously, once the box is opened or whatever customer policy is anyway. So the two boys are having a ding-dong. Yeah. So the guy's like going, I want to get my money back. And Kieran is like going, you can't have your back, like, because you've taken it and you've opened it and it's going on back. And I'm in the background, like, just pretending to put stuff on shelves, and I'm like listening, like, oh, that's quite an interesting argument, like, and I'm like just moving stuff, like, oh, I'm very busy, like, right,
cleaning Spanish.
Has anyone got the spotted paint? So anyway, they're going back and forth, and then I go, and Kieran was like, that's it. Kieran just went like, that's it, man, you know, no more, like, you know, and then he goes, oh, whatever, man, you fiend bastard. And he just walks out of the shop. Now, I had never, in my entire, because I'm from Cork, it's not something we hear. Yeah. Okay? So my first time ever experienced that interaction, right? And I was a bit like, wow, like, that was mental. So I went up to Kieran and I went, Jesus, man, that was a bit heavy, like. And he was like, oh, that's grand, don't worry about it. Like, I goes, that's insane, man. Like, I'd never seen anything like that. Like, I can't believe he called you a fiend bastard. Like, and he went, why? Why is that a problem? He says, but I am a fiend bastard. He goes, my name is Kieran and I've got fadas and I'm working in East Belfast.
I've got a fada over the K. Somebody's supposed to go there.
I've actually got a fada over all the letters and I work in B&Q East Belfast. Like, of course I'm going to get shit. And I just went, that's the beauty about the humour up here. Yeah. He was just like, well, I am a fiend bastard. I went, oh, fuck yeah. Like, in my head, like, being from fucking woke down south, like, I kind of think, oh, that's really offensive. Yeah. How are you? Do you want a time out? It's crazy. Do you want a time out?
It's crazy that Cork, the rebel county, is more fucking
Cork is not woke. Fucking rebel, mate, compared to the Falls. Fellas sitting down in Cork, oh, we need to get the Brits out. You live 4 hours away and you won't even go up for a holiday. So don't tell me you're from the rebel county, you fucking idiots. No, Cork is a rebel county because like, we kind of like have this little angst against Ireland anyway. People's Republic of Cork, you see. Yeah. We want to be... Somebody said to me like, Cork brings in the biggest... Outside of Dublin, it brings in the biggest GDP. Because, well, of course, because it's fucking second city, so it's going to bring in a second. It's massive. Like, we're the best city in Ireland if you take away Cork, Limerick, Galway, Belfast, Donegal, Kilkenny. We're the best. Cork is... Like, thing is, I'm actively trying to move back to Cork at the moment. Yeah. I'm not at the moment. Yeah. I'm currently in a process where I will see myself in the next 2 years living in Cork. Yeah. So this podcast is going to be called Cork in the North, Back to the South. That's the way it's going to be.
Just Cork.
Just Cork. Just call it Andrew Wright's point. Cork. Yeah, but what's the story? It was Cork in the North, now it's back in the South. Yeah, so just Cork in the North, back in Cork.
Cork no longer in the North.
Cork no longer in the North. Where is Cork now? France. We're in France. It's fucking crazy, man. I love since I've lived here, man, I find it like you. No, 1 second. I'm going to ask you this. What's your I always ask the guests this. What's your relationship with Cork?
City limits.
Just city limits.
The only time I've been down. Well, city limits, and then
He rang me last week.
I
love it when Brian calls.
I haven't talked to him in ages because I did a gig. Ross Brown ran a gig. We did it together in
The Dirty Duck.
Yeah.
Oh, not the Dirty Duck. That's a pub here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. What was it called?
I know what it's called. I know it's gone now because obviously COVID killed it. Like,
I went down. Like that was the last time I was in Cork. It was a weekend gig, and I just assumed that there was like somewhere to kip. Like you would get like a hotel or somewhere to stay. Yeah, and there wasn't. So I was fucking broke, and I paid for like a jury's end. It was the only thing I could get that night. Like literally that night, I paid for it on the way to Cork.
100 quid,
something like that. The next day, I had to check out at 11, and spent the entire day just sitting in my car, waiting for the gig to start, to just drive home.
I've got a trick.
After the gig was over, I was like, fucking hell.
I have a trick for comedians how to fill those days, and this is what you do. So. Get out at 11. There's nothing worse. That's 9 hour wait in a city you don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
And it was a crap day. Do you know what it was like? It was pissing down. You couldn't even go walk around the place. And
do you know what I do? I go to another hotel, say 12 o'clock, and all these hotels have nice sofas, and a lot of them it's better than a coffee shop.
Yeah.
And I just chill in hotels for the whole afternoon.
That's not a bad shout, actually.
And what you do is when you go to hotels like that, you notice that like on certain floors, they sometimes have coffee areas on different floors, depending on the hotel. And I just go up the floors. I just
looking for it?
I just walk around. Just walk around hotels.
The weirdest thing, the shit you do.
Like I just walk around hotels.
Yeah. I used to go, I was doing warm-up for TFI Friday. Remember when I came back about 7 years ago or something like that?
Right.
I was living in Derry at the time, so I would fly on a Friday morning. I would fly from Derry to London at 7:30. There's only 2 flights a day. So I'd fly at 7:30 in the morning, get into London for like 9. I would try and take my time getting in, like, from the airport. But you're hitting London like 11 o'clock in the morning, and the show doesn't start until 8. So I've got, and it's December, so it was freezing. So I just started going to I would just go to the Odeon in, I can't remember where it was, but I would just go to the cinema for a nap. So I'd literally go in, I had a jacket with it, I'd take my jacket off, put it on back to front, and just like fall asleep in the cinema. And because it was the same movie at the same time every week, I ended up seeing the final Hunger Games movie 4 times. Because it was, and one day I fell asleep, and every time I woke up, Jennifer Lawrence was waking up in a hospital bed, going, Peter, and I was like, how long have I been in here? I thought I'd slept through it, and woke up at the second showing of the movie. Do you know what I mean? Like I thought I've just watched this 4 times in a row.
It's horrendous, isn't
just
it?
to kill time. And you end up spending 200 quid to kill time because you wanted to save 20 quid on a flight.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But you know the thing that I was thinking about doing, approaching a load of comics, is 3 comics, we all chip in and buy a camper van.
Yeah.
And we place the camper van in London, right? And just outside London. So you fly in, and then you just go and you stay in the camper van for the weekend.
That's a good idea.
Right?
Yeah.
And then if you're gigging in London Friday, Saturday, and Sunday you're in Leicester, and Monday you're in Newcastle, and then what you do is you just take the camper van and then you bring it back to the spot.
Yeah.
And then you tidy it, and then we have a little rota. And then I fly in. I'm like, where are we this weekend? Oh, I'm doing the boat. Where are we steps in the van?
Yeah.
And 4 of us buy a van.
I had a dream. Right?
Sleep in a van.
Not even a camper van. I had this fucking, like, I wanted to do it where I would buy a transit.
Recut it.
No, not even. Just fuck a mattress in the back of it, right? Book a massive tour, sort of just clubs, whatever, all over England, Scotland, Wales, and join Pure Gym. So I would literally just fucking drive to the gig, drive to the gym the next morning, whatever, have a workout, get a shower, get ready for the gig, sleep in the van after the gig, drive to the next one, and it'd be horrible, but it'd be cheap as fuck.
Yeah, but I think buy a transit, put $3,000 into it,
yeah,
put a bed,
make one of those tiny homes,
kitchen, make one of those homes,
yeah,
and then what you do is, like, I've actually looked into it purely but also the great thing to do to take away your partner if you've got a partner and stuff like that. Like, so if there's anybody out there that has a van or a camper van that wants it to go to a good home,
yeah,
speak to the comedians,
yeah.
Speak to us,
or if
us.
anybody out there knows how to convert a Nissan Juke into a tiny home.
If anyone out there has a hotel in London,
if
that they are willing to give a free room away, and we will promote you on this Mickey's podcast. If you say to us, we will give you a free hotel in London every time you're over for the next 18 months, we will do gigs for you.
Yeah.
We'll write reviews for you on TripAdvisor.
I'll go one better. If you have any money you don't need.
If you have a wife or a daughter that you want to get married to a funny guy.
Or even a kidney.
Yeah. If you need any bombs making, speak to Mickey.
I don't know anyone who can help you with that.
I know, yeah, it's crazy. Oh man, it's mental. I remember like some of the stuff, the hotels and stuff, the nights, like the checking out at 11.
Yeah.
Have you ever done a gig, gone to the hotel that you've been put up in and gone, no, I'm not staying there, I'm off?
The only time where it's ever is the one in Cork, the city limits. Like, have you stayed in that hotel?
No, I'm from
Cork.
Cork. Like, I'm not going to stay with my family.
There's been the odd time I've walked into that and you get into the room and you're like, what the like I've never seen a hotel with a single bed before.
I've often got hotel rooms with single beds. Yeah, very common.
But I'm a wee bit like, I think I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to trying to save money.
Yeah.
So I'll always pay for like at least like an Ibis or a Travelodge, like a trusted brand. Just because I'm like,
Ibis Travelodge,
I hate
trusted brand.
Yeah, like you know there's shit that's going to be cleanish.
Not a trusted brand. The last time I stayed in the Travelodge, I went to reception. Hi mate, yeah, can I change room because there's blood on the carpet?
Jesus Christ!
And he actually didn't believe me, and I was there with my luggage, packed, ready to go. And he goes, oh, I'll have to look at it. How bad does the fucking blood have? So I walk back up with my luggage. I go, there's the body. He goes, oh yeah, you're right. Why don't you fucking believe me? Then I had to go back down with my luggage again to get the room for the next key. I
did the Ulster Hall in 2019. Sold out Ulster Hall, like biggest show of my life.
Brilliant.
Stayed in the Ibis on the Dublin Road.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Mickey, you're doing the Ulster Hall.
Yeah, but it was broken. I hadn't been paid yet, so it was one of those like I'm going to have a bunch of money in 2 weeks, but right now fucking skint. And stayed in that hotel. The hot water didn't work. There was no heating. I hadn't noticed like how stinking the bed was until I got back from the show, pulled the sheets back, and there were skid marks in the bed.
Oh my god!
Like, and went down like, listen, this room's disgusting. Can I have another room? The guy's like, there's no rooms left, and I'm like, I just did the fucking Ulster Hall, and I'm sitting here freezing.
It's unreal, isn't it?
In a shitty bed.
People don't see the shit you have to go through when you're being like, oh man, I
used to sleep in the airport. But after the TFI Friday gigs, I would get the train back to Stansted and literally have a sleeping bag with me and sleep on the floor of the airport.
What was that like, sleeping in the airport?
Fucking horrible. There's one that one of the airport like police officers woke me up. He's another really heavily armed guys.
Oh yeah.
And he like kicked me. I was like, you can't sleep here. And I had just fallen asleep. And I remember thinking, you better know how to shoot that because I'm about to go fucking. Do you know when you're so tired you think you might cry? You ever had that? Yeah. I was just like, fucking.
I just want a bed.
Yeah, it was horrible, and that was 10 weeks I was doing that for.
You slept for 10 weeks?
Yeah, like 10 Friday nights.
Surely the TGI Friday people would not give you a hotel, no?
That was the thing. So it was like my agents at the time managed to get like a really fucking cracking fee,
but no hotel.
But no hotel.
Why did you spend so much fee in a hotel, Mickey?
Because again, I wasn't getting until the end. Do you know
you're making life hard for yourself, Mickey.
But you know those times whenever like you go.
If you're not got a credit card.
Nah, fuck. No, because that's the one thing I'm kind of proud of is I've never taken on debt to do stand up, apart from the odd fringe or something like that. Yeah, I don't like getting. I'd rather just be like uncomfortable
it's a vicious
for a day.
cycle, man.
Yeah,
it's a vicious cycle.
100%.
Get trapped in it, like
definitely. Like I'd rather just be knackered for a day than stressing about it for a month.
Yeah, I am a snob for hotels. Like for example, I'm going to Brussels and Ghent next week to do 2 shows, and I said to the guy was like, oh, do you want to come over? And I was like, yeah, brilliant. What's the hotel?
Yeah.
Before I even asked him the fee, I went, what's the hotel?
I used to love doing the Laughter House in Liverpool. Always put you up in like a really good Jury's Inn.
Yeah.
Where you go,
the Jury's Inn is phenomenal.
You're like,
hotel.
as far as a Jury's goes, this is a belter. Like it had Sky in the rooms.
Oh,
you're like fucking, and you get a weekend there where like it's a 5-minute walk to the gig. So the entire I would fucking fly into Liverpool as early as possible, just to spend the day in the room. Like I couldn't tell you what Liverpool looks like. Like I just know that the Jury's Inn's fucking phenomenal.
It's a great like some of the hotels. I think the best hotels obviously when you go abroad. I stayed in one in where did I stay? I was up doing the Glasgow stand and they put you in the Ibis. Yeah, and they were doing building work recently.
Yeah,
and I was literally in the room and all I hear was. I rang and I said, hi guys, and they actually couldn't hear me because of the noise.
Fucking
and
hell.
I went, you can hear that? Yeah. Any chance you can move me? And he went, really sorry, Andrew. I was like, there's no problem. It's just like I'm here for 3 nights.
Yeah.
And it's a Thursday, so they're going to be working Thursday, they're going to be working Friday. The only piece I'll get on Saturday, and then the fucking Rangers and Celtic pricks turn up.
Fuck.
and you're like, fuck that shit. So I don't want to be listening to those drunks. So then it goes, we move you, and I'm like, brilliant. I'm going up the road to the Novotel, which is just up the road.
around the corner.
There's a gym. It's lovely, nice. They put me to the other side of Glasgow in a Premier Inn.
Oh, fuck's sake.
And I had to walk past heroin addicts.
Yeah, that's happened to me once as well.
Get into the fucking hotel. And I went, do you not value me?
Yeah.
Do you not value me?
That happened to me once. I think it was a Paddy's week or something. And it was like, obviously they booked like, all Irish acts for 3 days or whatever. And everyone was in a different hotel. And I ended up in the Premier Inn, the miles away from the gig. And you're like, we can't even go on the piss after this.
Because it's
too far away.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Man.
I love whenever you do the Edinburgh one, they put you up in the
the apartment.
Oh, we heard this last minute at the Edinburgh stand, and they're my favourite fucking clubs. I think they're everybody's favourite clubs. But they emailed me going, listen, the apartment's getting work done on it, so you can't use the shower or the bath or anything in the apartment. So do you want to take the apartment, or do you want us to put you up in the hotel? And I was like, why are you even asking me that? Like, you're basically saying you can stay here, but you can't wash for 3 days.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'll stay in a hotel. And they put me up in a yotel. Have you been in one of those?
Great.
It's like a fucking spaceship.
Brilliant.
Unbelievable.
Best
Couldn't
hotels.
sleep because it's the brightest room.
Have you seen the art decor and everything?
Yeah, but it's like sleeping in the centre of a star.
Yeah. Like, you wake up in the morning, there's just someone standing there going, you want kissy kissy?
Yeah, you don't even have to get out of the bed. You press the button, the bed like lifts up and pushes you out of it. Like, oh, thank you.
And the TV is literally like in front of you. I've had so many crack with the hotels that people don't realise. I've joined IG hotels.
Yeah,
Hilton Honors. I've got Avios points. I've got an American Express. You take American Express, get me Avios points on that. Like,
definitely.
I just do all that kind of stuff because people don't realise the amount of travel that we do. Like when you go to England, if you got a rail card,
to get
30% off the trains and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I was
that's the thing about England. I've went over and hired a car that's been cheaper than trains. If you're going between,
do you know what I did? I got a train from Manchester to London last week. They wanted 90 quid.
Fucking
and I went on this website called Tickety Split, and I got a train from Manchester to Crewe, waited 20 minutes, and then I got a West Midlands train to London, £22.
Fucking hell.
Save 70 quid.
It's crazy, like
68 quid. I was in Heathrow Airport yesterday. Heathrow. Some people may not know this about me, but I am a massive fan of airports.
Mm-hmm, right.
Not the actual
process,
the process, but I love the structure of them. Mm-hmm. Like, I know it's going to sound really weird, but I geek out on infrastructure. Mm-hmm. So there was a really good documentary on TV years ago about the building of the new St Pancras train station, and it's my favourite train station.
Yeah,
and like I'm not into train spotting or anything like that. I just love the structures.
There is something like, wow.
How can these people make this place work?
Yeah,
it's just phenomenal. Like project management. I'm in Belfast. I'm in Heathrow Terminal 5 yesterday, and I'm sitting next to a plug sockets, to charge your phones. So I go over to charge my phone, and there's 3 sockets there and some USB charging point. And I plug in my phone and I sit down, and it's not working. So I try the next one. It's not working. Try the next one. It's not working. Take out the USB, stick it in. Not working. It's not working. Bollocks. So I hook my phone up to my laptop and I charge my laptop. So I start watching Rangers Celtic yesterday in the football, and but I'm sitting next to the charging point. Just people start coming up to the charging point, and as they're coming up, I'm going, "Oh, it's not working, man." Nobody believed me, and they just kept on. And I just went, "Yeah, I've tried it. Like, it's not working." And they just went, "Okay, cool."
Yeah.
And they just started trying all 3 sockets.
But
and then one guy did it, and he did exactly what I did. 3 plugs, plugged out his USB, put it in, and then looked at me and goes, "Yeah, it's not working." I fucking told you. Do you not? I fucking told you it wasn't working.
There's that thing of like when you're in an airport, and I've had the same thing happen in Terminal 5 where you're like, my phone's dying and I need it.
Yeah.
Like,
you need the boarding pass to get on the plane.
Yeah. So you'll do fucking anything. You're like, I'll splice this fucking vending machine open and try and get something to work. Because I remember doing that, or staying in Terminal 5. I think I did a gig in Bahrain, but I had to fly from Heathrow to Bahrain, and then Bahrain, or the Heathrow to maybe even Dublin. Do you know one of those ones where you go, who booked this?
Who
and why the fuck
am I
getting 4 different modes of transport when there's a direct flight?
Yeah.
Like, so got to Bahrain, or got to Heathrow, and had like a 7-hour wait before I could fly back to Dublin, and then 2 hours from Dublin up to Belfast, and I was fucking exhausted. And I remember there was these is it like sleep pods or something to have?
Yeah.
And it was going to be like 120 quid
Unbelievable.
for a couple of hours. And I was like, fuck, I'm so tired and I need to charge my phone. And I've been fucking flying for 8 hours and drinking the whole way over and fucking... And it got to like, I had 2 hours left to wait and I went, fucking, I'm paying this. And I went up like, you know, can I have one of these pods? And the girl was like, we literally just sold the last one, there's none left. And I was glad that it saved money, but I was so tired, I was fucking gutted that I couldn't just spunk 120 quid in a 2 hour nap.
60 quid an hour of sleep. That's a fucking disgrace, isn't it?
They're disgusting, like.
I know, that's crazy. Mickey, what have you got coming up?
Because
you did a couple of nights at the Ulster Hall recently.
So the 3 nights last year. I'm doing the Waterfront this year on the 2nd of December.
Brilliant. Tickets on sale?
Tickets on sale now.
So go and see Mickey. He's a phenomenal stand-up.
Yeah, do you know what? It's one of those things where I've realised I've got a new hour of material. It's only April. Do you when you have one of those moments where you go, fuck,
all right, man, chill the fuck out, mate.
I know, I'm such a swat.
Waking up in the morning, glasses on.
Time to create. The thing about dicks is...
My girlfriend, what a bitch. So you got Waterfront coming up in December. And what's your podcast called?
Deck Chair and Yums.
What is this?
Deck Chair and Yums.
Deck Chair and Yums.
Yeah,
what the fuck is that?
I do it with a guy called Connor Keys. His nickname's Yums.
Oh, Connor, yeah. Connor's a lovely fella.
Yeah, and my nickname. Do you know my nickname on the comedy scene for a while was Deck Chair?
Why?
Because I fold easily. So me and Nick Cody were doing the 2-week tour of Eastern Europe, right? We'll tell this real quick before we go. And we're coming through, I think it was like Serbia, and Nick didn't have a work visa. So he was just bluffing his way on a travel
Australian,
visa.
like.
Yeah, he's Australian, so he doesn't give a shit. And obviously I had the EU passport, so I'm just straight through. And this is about 5 days into this 2-week tour, and Cody gets questioned by the security. And he comes out, and I'm like, what'd you do? He's like, I just fucking told him it was tourist, mate. So we're right. And I was like, oh, fucking hell. He went, old deck chair would have folded. I went, old deck chair would have folded. And Cody went, that's what it is. And I'm like, what? He went, you fold. It was like it had been annoying him all week. He couldn't figure out why he didn't like me. And he basically was going, you would say to Mick, like, do you want some food? I'd be like, no, I'm not hungry. And they would go, have some food. You go, all right.
You folded.
Yeah.
That's a great nickname, man.
But then he started telling people that he made up the nickname. And it was me. But I just let him because I folded.
Oh, yeah. I think that's such a great nickname.
It's a good one. Like, yeah.
Deck chair.
Because
it's a bit, you have to understand why, and you get the link of the chair. I think that's a fucking great nickname.
It's the realization in his face. He's like, that's what it is.
Deck chair Bartlett. Because he folds easily. I think it's crazy. Mickey, thanks for coming on, man. Listen, I really appreciate you coming on to the podcast, Cork and the North, and it's good to have you on, man. And we'll put all your links and stuff like that.
Thanks very much. I'll come on again soon. This is a great crack.
Oh mate, yeah, definitely come on again. And we're going to be doing. Just before we finish up on this episode, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say that just send us money.
Yeah.
All right. Just find a way.
Yeah, you were fucking told.
Find a way to send us money.
Imagine I just pulled up a hostage.
Declan's getting it. Listen, thanks very much for liking, sharing, subscribing, and follow Mickey. Really appreciate it. This episode of Cork of the Night, absolute great stuff. Really, really enjoyed a good chat with you, Mickey. Cheers, lads. Thank you. Bye bye.